The kettlebell swing is a simple and powerful exercise that is often misunderstood and done incorrectly by most people, especially beginners, that can lead to lower back injury, strain, knee injury, or worse. Today, I'm gonna debunk the myths regarding the kettlebell swing and show you how to do it correctly, set up so you can master your swing, so you can start enjoying stronger, fitter body, stronger core, leaner, and better, the safe way. Let's jump right into it. So the kettlebell swing, excellent exercise, full body, fat burning, leg, strength, shoulder training. It's something that you should start doing your training program. If you're watching this video, you probably already know why. So I don't want to go on too much into that. But trust me, when you start doing swings, regular, consistent, almost daily swings, you're gonna get the rewards of increased fat burning, increased strength, increased overall fitness and performance. So I'm gonna move on from that and show you how to get to that point so you can do it safely and effectively. So next step here is gonna be setting up for success. This is so important. And I think this is why so many people do the swing wrong. They don't take the time to set up for success that you need to set up correctly. All right, you have to start with the proper weight. Do not start too heavy. Most guys start with a 24 kilo bell, which is 53-pound bell, or even heavier, without even knowing the technique. All right, you want to start lighter, and I'll cover the weight in a minute, but you want to start with the right proper weight. The setup is so important. I'm going to break down the setup now. So what you're going to do with your setup is you want your foot space away from that bell. All right. So if you set up too far from the bell, you're this way. All right. You never want your shoulders and your hips lined up. You don't want to be parallel or flat, because then when you hike the bell back, where does that weight go? To your lower back. I see that a lot. Do not do that. What you want to do is a foot space away from that bell, feet by your sides here, shoulder width apart. And then you're going to hinge down, tip the bell back. Your shoulders should always be above your hips, hips above your knees. All right, pack the shoulders, and then you're going to inhale, hike it back, and then you swing the bell, okay? Making sure your breath is engaged, all right? Your breath is engaged. There's a key tip that I'm going to share with you on your setup that I'm going to share with you for the tips and progressions, but the setup is important. You have to have the setup correctly, all right? Remember, the swing is a power exercise, not slow and controlled. It's power and explosive. And if you set up right, with your foot space away from the bell, feet by your sides, feet shoulder width apart, okay? Bell's right in front of you here. Hinge down, tilt the bell back, pack your shoulders, use your lats to hike that bell back as you air in and take your air in, hike, and then power breathe. You have to synchronize that breath as you shoot the bell up. Your glutes should shoot forward, your quad should lock, the bell should shoot forward with your hip power, not your shoulder raise, all right? That's one of the common mistakes I want to cover today is I see people doing, they're squatting and they're lifting the bell. The swing is not a lifting exercise. It's not a shoulder exercise where you lift the bell up. Your power should come from your hips and glutes. And it's coming from your hips and glutes when you swing it up, the bottom of the bell is facing that way. If it's facing the ground, you're just trying to lift it up. Let me show you real quick what that looks like. So if you're trying to, this may be you. If you're trying to do your swings and you're kind of, you're just kind of starting this way, you squat and you lift. I see this all the time. Look how the bell is facing the ground, okay? You're just trying to lift it, okay? That is not a kettlebell swing, okay? This is weird. The bell should be, bottom of the bell should be facing that way, if not slightly up, all right? That only happens when you set up correctly. You have to set up right. Okay, take your time. I still do this. I've been doing kettlebell training for over 10 years now, and I still sit up this way because repetition is the master of skill. Repetition, repetition. Keep doing it. I don't even think about it. I just do it. I just set up, hinge, pack, and I'm ready to go. Okay, I want you to get to that point. So as you hike it back, the bell should look like this. Look at the base of the bell as I swing it. See how it's facing away from me? okay? Versus raising the bell like I showed you earlier. That's not how you do it. That's how you do it. I'll show you from the front. Watch how the base of the bell is facing you because I generated that power from my hips and glutes, okay? Hinge, hike. Power breathe, explosive. That is the kettlebell swing. It's an explosive, full hip, full quad, glutes, legs, core, everything. It's a full body exercise if you do it right. And if you set up like this, you're gonna do it safely. And you can do it consistently and enjoy the rewards and the benefits. Increase fat loss, lose weight, you're gonna get stronger and get fitter safely. So do these, apply the technique to the kettlebell swing, okay? So again, I covered one common mistake, which is trying to lift the bell, okay? There are a handful. I have a video on common mistakes. I'll share that. You can check that after. I break down a bunch of mistakes, but I want to go to the top ones today. One of them is lifting the bell. The first one is not sitting upright. So you're going to fix that with the setup I just showed you how to do, okay? But another one is going to be not engaging or not synchronizing your breathing with the actual swing. So if you're not breathing right, you can't channel that power from your glutes, hip power to shoot the bell forward, and then you're gonna try to lift it up with your arms, okay? So this is how you set up with your breath, okay? This is how you fix that. Okay, as you set up, you breathe the air in, hold, and once you hike the bell back, bell's back behind you, that's when you start to breathe out through your nose. It's a it should be synchronized. So right when you're already at the top, the bell's already shooting forward, your glutes and hips are forward, everything's locked, you're in a high plank, bell's coming up, you're already power breathed out, right? It floats up, okay? Which leads to the next common mistake, hinging too soon on the way down. Okay, the kettlebell swing is a hinge exercise. It's not a squat, it's a hinge. It's hips back, it's butt back. It's not squatting. You don't have any power when you squat like that, okay? Squats are great, but they're not the kettlebell swing. I see this so many times trying to squat in the swing, and they don't know. They just haven't had the right technique and coaching from a certified instructor or a coach, okay? That's why you're watching this. If you're doing that, it's okay. Now you know that that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Think hinge. Get that hinge. So first setup of the bell. That's why part of the setup is after you put space away, be sure width apart, you see me do this. What is that? That's a hinge. That's hinging into it, okay? I'm not squatting. I'm hinging, butt back. A quick, some feedback you can get if you're on your own. Go by a wall, about foot space away, okay, and hinge. If you do it right, you're gonna hit the wall. Your butt's gonna hit the wall. That's a hinge. If I squat, I don't even feel the wall because the squat brings your hips down with your knees as they bend. The hinge brings your hips back and your butt back into the hinge position. So when you're swinging that bell, it's a hinge, okay? That's how you load the hips, load the glutes, load everything with the kettlebell swing. It's a hinge, not a squat. Just remember that, okay? And to fix that, that's part of the setup. That's why the setup is so important. That's why I'm covering over and over and over. Setup, put space away. Here, hinge. Okay, hinge. And as you hike the bell back, you should see it behind you. That's how you know you're hiking the back far enough. Okay, watch the bell come right behind me. You could see it. Loading it back. When I do that, I could swing it. And then always set it down safely and motionless. Okay, let's get back to that breathing, step 2. So a mistake I see is hinging too soon. And I get it, though. You have a weight coming towards you. You want to get out of the way. But if you get out of the way too soon, the weight comes down. There's a load coming down. It's moving weight. So that load has to transfer somewhere. And this is a common mistake I see. Bell coming down, you're already hinging. Where's that weight gonna go? Where's the load gonna go? The lower back. That's why so many people say, swings are bad for your back. Yes, if you do them wrong. So is any technique. If you could squat and it's bad for your back. You could do other exercises. You could do bench press. You could do any other exercises that can be bad for your back. I'm just saying in general, this is what came to mind. But if you, especially a moving exercise, an explosive moving weight like the kettlebell swing, if you do it wrong, it's bad for your back. It could be. You could hurt yourself. That's why you're watching this video. That's why I'm showing you how to do it right. Okay? So this is how you fix that mistake of hinging too soon. First of all, know that you're probably hinging too soon. All right? Unless you've had the coaching and to show you otherwise. So what you want to do, right when you feel the urge to hinge, the bell's about right here, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a split second, because the bell's moving down. It's only going to take a split second for you to go from here with the bell to here. Okay? And that makes all the difference. When you start to feel your forearms by your sides, the bell's coming back, you want, think triangle. You're trying to get the weight, the bell in the triangle. The triangle is between your knees and your pelvis right here. That's that triangle. If you hinge too soon, you miss a triangle. It goes below the knees, transfers to your lower back. Okay, so remember, think, I want to get the bell in the triangle, in the triangle. How do you do that? Just like I showed you, weight until your forearms are about right here, and then you hinge out of the way. Hinge out of the way. Okay, I'm going to show you some quick, for the tips and progressions, some things you can do and how to progress with your kettlebell swing. I just want to show you things that you need to pay attention to. That's going to be part of the tips and progressions. But that breathing is just wait a second longer. Know that when you get out of the way at the last second, that's better. Okay, and I'll show you how to put that all together in a second. Okay, so the kettlebell swing, like I just said, is something that you need to practice. That's part of the tips for progressions. Okay. One thing I want to go over, common mistake I don't want to forget is rounding your back. I did one over lifting your arms. Swinging too high. So if you're using a weight and you're trying to swing it way up here, that's too high. What happens generally is you arch your back, you bend your back. What happens when you bend your back? Your abs relax. And then you're trying to bring it back, and then all of a sudden you're coming down here. The kettlebell swing, the Russian kettlebell swing, hardstyle Russian kettlebell swing is not an American swing. The American swing is up, overhead. That's not what I'm teaching you here. Okay, this is the explosive, powerful, in my opinion, the safer swing, because the American swing, you know, we're not going to get into that now, but I want you to focus on the Russian kettlebell swing. That's what you're watching this video, 2-arm kettlebell swing. Okay, so raising that bell too high, you know it's too high when you can see it's up here and you can look forward and you can see straight ahead. You should be able to see the bell right here, either at eye level or below, never up here. Okay, it's an easy fix. Just generate less power. I don't want you to go heavier too soon. I want you to generate less power. If you're swinging the bell and it's shooting way up here, and I'll show you real quick with the light bell. I do not recommend doing this. This is what I want you to avoid. You swing the bell. I've seen this. Sail, but it's going way up here. That's too high. What I can do is just less power. That's right ahead, eye level. Okay? Just generate less power. If you have like a 0 to 10 scale, maybe you're swinging at an 8 with the light bell. You're getting it down. You're making progress. The bell's going up here. Just turn the dial down to maybe a 5 or 6. To the bell's right here at eye level. Okay, so don't swing the bell too high. It's gonna be bad for your back. It's bad technique. You don't need to go that high. Eye level is where you want to be. And then, yeah, gosh, rounding your back. You don't want to round the back. I don't see this too much, but I want you to, on the setup, if you're setting up correctly, hinging, packing those shoulders, your back's gonna be nice and straight. Okay. Where I see rounding the back is when there's not really paid attention. There's not conscious effort given to the setup. They just kind of grab the bell and they kind of, you know, just round, and then they just try to swing it, and then they don't really engage your core. They don't have their chest up. It's just rounded. Okay, so back should be straight. Remember that. Okay, so on to the tips and progressions, how to get excellent swings done safely every single time. So, like I just said, like I was starting earlier, start light. Do not start too heavy. For men, I recommend a 16 kilo, 35 pound bow. This bow right here was where I started. This is the actual first kettlebell I bought over 10 years ago. I think back in 2014, I believe. I still have it. Excellent bow. It's a 16 kilo, 35 pound bow. Start with that. That's the one I recommend for men. For women, maybe a 12 kilo or lighter. Okay, so I have this one here. This is a 12 kilo, 26 pound bow. Or if you are even a smaller woman, under 115 or so, you're gonna start out with an 8 kilo, 18 pound bow, okay? So start light. That's one of the best tips I can give you is start light so you can learn the technique properly, right? You wanna learn the technique. That's the next tip. Good form, good technique, practice, practice, practice. That's gonna get you locking it in and doing it. Remember, repetition, repetition, repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. I learned that from Tony Robbins, and it is. Repetition, pack, stack, repetition, over and over and over. Like I said, I still do the same setup, and I've done this for over 10 years because it's so ingrained in how I set up my swing, but it's done well, and I want you to lock in on a good technique. That's why I'm showing you all this, all right? So, and then another tip for progression. Okay, this is I told you I was going to share with you a quick tip that I started to apply to my swings that allow me to really engage my core. I don't see a lot of this done, but this is huge. This is a big tip, so pay attention here. So when you set up, we're going to stack it on the setup. So once you set up from the bow, okay, you're here. Before you hinge, okay, I want you to actively engage your core. Okay, so small crunch. Braced, you should feel your abs engaged. Okay, you feel like you're kind of rounded. You're not rounded, but you're crunched down, so your abs are engaged. Then you hinge. You want your abs firing and engaged first, because once you start swinging the bow and then it's in the air, you're trying to engage your core while the bow's moving. That's not the time to do it. It's right before. It's on the setup. Okay, this is my main tip here. With the setup is core engagement, ab engagement. All right, so foot space away from that bow. Step one, shoulder width apart, feet. Step two, third step, key tip, engage that core, brace your abs. If you can't engage your core by just crunching, power breathing out, then I want you to do this here, which is just a simple low plank, all right? So I want you to slide up, okay? Arms, shoulder width. I want you to engage your core. I want you to hold that. Really trying to drive your elbows to your hip, your waist, engage your glutes, engage your legs, locked in, until you can start to feel your abs engaged. 20 to 30 seconds, couple reps of those, get those abs engaged. You gotta fire them, you gotta turn them on so they activate. Then you go back and you set up with the swing. Okay, engage your core, find that hip hinge, get you right on your hips. It's that hip crease. Remember, hinge, not squat. Hinge back, you're set. Ball's right here. Okay, you tip that bow back. Grab the handle. Okay, here's another key tip. Pretend to break that bow apart. That's gonna pack your shoulders, but it's also gonna engage your lats. You want your lats, the big back muscles here, to help you hike the bow back. Okay, set, pack, and then right before you hike it back, here's your breath. Air in, abs are already engaged. Okay, we engage them. Pack the shoulders, hike it back. There you go. Okay, so I told you I have you some progressions. Okay, so when you're learning the swing, move that out of the way. When you're learning the kettlebell swing, I want you to focus on these progressions. Okay, first is a hike back, just like what I just did. Hike back. Do 5 hike backs, setting up. Boom, boom, abs, hike, pack. Hike it back. Get that bell back here. Get it right behind you. Practice pulling that bell back. Because if you don't hike it back far enough, you're not going to have the power to shoot it forward. And that's the beginning of a bad swing. So hike back. 5 to 10 practice reps of those. Okay, that's step one. Okay, once you get that down, go to step 2, the dead stop swing. So you just hike the bell back. It's basically like single swings, set up, hinge, hike, reset, hike, reset, hike, reset. 3 to 5 of those. Practice, practice, practice. That's gonna elevate your heart rate. Take 1 to 2 minutes between each set of those. Do about 5 to 10 sets of those. Okay, get that down. Once you get that down, then you can start adding consistent swing, consistent rep kettlebell swings. Okay, so after the hike backs, then the dead stop swings, then you can load it to then you can start doing the swings, the actual swings, okay? And if you want coaching on this, KB coaching, or you can go more in depth, we can meet. I can show you how to break it down and see where you're at, watch you do it, give you some technique tips, some coaching, some guidance. So KB coaching if you want that. But otherwise, step 3 is gonna be swinging the actual bell. So again, setup, same thing, foot space with the bell. Gauge your core, hinge. Okay, hike back. You've already practiced your hike back. You practice your dead stop swings. You're ready to swing. Let's go. You do about 3 to 5 sets of swings. Waiting for it. Always. Then always sit it down motionless. Shake it out and repeat. Start with 5 reps. Then go to 6. Then go to 7. Do about 5 to 10 sets of those, okay? Then you got your swing down. By then you have some momentum going, you have some consistency, you have the technique dialed down a little bit. And again, if you want coaching, let me know. On that, I can check out your swings, I can see where you're at, I can watch you on video and see if you have any questions on that, if you have some issues with that. So those are my tips and progressions for an excellent kettlebell swing, okay? And if you want an actual workout that applies the swing and some other kettlebell exercises, once you get that down, once you get the momentum, once you start learning the swing right, and you want to apply it to an actual workout, 10 minutes, in 10 minutes, KB10 in the comments, I'll shoot it over to you. When you're ready for that, once you have that swing down first, then you could start doing my 10-minute full body kettlebell workout, swings, rows, some squats, some different kettlebell exercises in 10 minutes. If you want that free, KB10 in the comments, I'll shoot that over to you. You can start doing some kettlebell workouts with your swings once you get these down, all right? And again, KB coaching if you want the coaching. Otherwise, thanks for watching this video. I will have another video that breaks down the swing, or it breaks down more of the mistakes that you want to avoid and how to fix them. Goes over more mistakes. I just covered the top ones here. You can check that video out now. And I'll have some different technique videos in the description. So otherwise, thanks for watching this video. KB10 if you want the workout, KB coaching for coaching. If you like this video, give me a like, share with someone you know you could use this technique tips and videos on how to do the kettlebell swing right. Okay, share that with them. I want to learn I want to teach how to do proper, safe, effective kettlebell swings, kettlebell exercises, so you can start doing kettlebell workouts consistently, routinely as part of your lifestyle, as part of your routine. That's going to get you stronger, fitter, better, one day at a time. With all you need is a kettlebell or two, but in a safe, proper technique way, so there's no injury. That's avoid injury, and you do it safely. That's what it's all about. That's what I want. That's what I'm working on. So I hope you join me on that journey, on your kettlebell journey or your transformation journey to get fitter, stronger, better using the kettlebell, doing it safely. All right, that's what I'm all about. So until then, have an awesome day. Train strong, keep getting after it. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video here, breaking down more of the common kettlebell mistakes you can avoid right over here. Otherwise, have an awesome day. Keep training, keep practicing. Remember, repetition is mother of skill. So keep getting after it, train strong, and enjoy the process.